Hi, it's me, Mrs. Jenkins. I'm here on my nice comfy couch and I'm ready for story time. Find a comfortable place in your house where you can curl up and let's get ready for a really good book. When last we were reading The Cricket in Times Square, Chester was becoming very famous with all of his musical escapades, but he's not very happy where he is right now. So let's pick up right here. Chapter 14, Orpheus. Chester didn't have long to wait. In a few minutes, Tucker came bounding into the newsstand and up to the stool and the shelf. Harry followed him, ambling silently along, as always. Tucker Mouse took himself very seriously now that he was the manager of a famous concert artist. "Good evening, Chester," he said. "You should excuse a suggestion, please, but I thought your temper was off tonight in the Stars and Stripes forever. You can't afford to relax just because you're on top, you know. And now let us begin practicing." Chester crawled out of the matchbox. "Can't I even say hello to Harry?" he asked. "So say hello," said Tucker Mouse. "Hello, Harry. Hello, Chester. So, the greetings being over, let's get on with the practicing." Chester looked at Harry and shook his head. The cat smiled and winked. Tucker twisted the dial. Wearily, Chester crossed his wings into the position for playing. There was an Irish jig on the radio. The cricket prepared to fling himself into the first wild strains of the jig, but suddenly he dropped his wings and said, "I'm just not up to it tonight." "What's the matter?" asked Tucker. "I don't feel like playing," said Chester. "You don't feel like playing?" the mouse exclaimed. "That's like the sun saying, I don't feel like shining." "Well, sometimes there are cloudy days," said the cricket. "Can't I have a rest too?" Mm, mm, mm. Tucker Mouse was very much flustered. "Let him have a day off," said Harry Cat. "What's the matter, Chester? Is fame beginning to get you down?" "I guess I'm just feeling September-ish," sighed Chester. "It's getting toward autumn now, and it's so pretty up in Connecticut. All the trees change color. The days get very clear with a little smoke on the horizon from burning leaves. Pumpkins begin to come out." "We can go up to Central Park," said Tucker. "The trees change their color there too." "It isn't the same," said Chester. "I need to see a shock of corn." He paused and fidgeted nervously. I didn't mean to tell you yet, but you may as well know I'm going to retire." "Retire?" shrieked Tucker Mouse. "Yes, retire," said Chester softly. "I love New York and I love to have all those people listening to me, but I love Connecticut more, and I'm going home." But, 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 Tucker Mouse was spluttering helplessly. "I'm sorry, Tucker, but I've made up my mind," said Chester. What about Mario?" said the mouse. "He wants me to be happy," Chester answered. "He said he wished I'd never come to New York if I was going to be miserable." "But all the human beings," Tucker waved his front legs. "All the suffering thousands your playing gave pleasure to. What about them?" "My playing gives pleasure to a lot of people in Connecticut too," said Chester. "Who?" asked Tucker Mouse scornfully. "Oh, woodchucks and pheasants and ducks and rabbits and everybody else who lives in the meadow or the brook. I had a bullfrog tell me once that he enjoyed my music more than anything else, except the sound of rain on the pond where he lived. And another time, a fox was chasing a rabbit around my stump, and they both stopped to listen while I was playing. What happened? Said Tucker. The rabbit made it to its hole, said Chester. I began the fox's favorite song just as he was about to chase him again, and he stayed to listen. Now, I couldn't do that for any human being in the subway station. I wouldn't be so sure, said Tucker Mouse. He turned to the cat. Harry, say something. Make him stay. Yes, Harry, said Chester. What's your opinion? Harry Cat sat perfectly still a moment. His whiskers were wiggling, which was a sign that he was thinking very hard. Oh, my opinion, he said finally, is that it's Chester's life and he should do with it what he wants. What good is it to be famous if it only makes you unhappy? Other people have retired at the peak of their careers. In all honesty, however, I must add that I will be dreadfully sorry to see him go. Tucker Mouse scratched his left ear, always a good sign. Something about that phrase, peak of their careers, struck his imagination. There would be a lot of glory, I suppose, he said, giving up everything just when he's on top. What a gesture! The idea took hold of his tiny mouse's mind. I can see it all now. At the summit of his success, that's the same as the peak of his career, isn't it? Oh, just the same, said Harry Cat, grinning at Chester. At the summit of his successes, he vanishes. Tucker raced back and forth on the shelf. The papers will go crazy. Where is he? Where did he go? Nobody knows. He leaves behind only a beautiful memory. How touching, how lovely. His voice cracked. The only thing that worries me, said Chester Cricket, is what will happen to the newsstand if I go. Oh, don't worry about that, said Harry Cat. This newsstand has been touched by the golden finger of fortune. They'll probably make a national park out of it. Do you really think so? Said Chester. Well, even if they don't, Harry answered, I'm sure the Bellinis will do very well. They're famous now, too. So, when do you plan to make it final? Asked Tucker. Chester thought for a moment. Oh, today is Thursday, he said. How about tomorrow night? Friday is an excellent day for retiring, said the mouse. If I ever retire from scrounging, it will be on a Friday. Chester Cricket heaved a big sigh. Oh, I feel better, he said. If you want me to learn some new pieces for tomorrow, now, I will. Wow, why bother, said Harry Cat. Tonight's your last full night in New York. You may as well enjoy yourself. Come to the drain pipe, said Tucker Mouse. We'll have a party in honor of your retirement. I have plenty of food and no matches to burn the place up. So the three friends hopped, scuttled, and padded across to Tucker's home, where a fine farewell feast was held. And it was thoroughly enjoyed by all. Well, boys and girls, that's all we have time for today, but I'll see you tomorrow at story time.